Hello everyone, warm greetings to you on our very snowy day. It is blowing and it's been snowing ever since early this morning. Yeah, we're gonna get quite a bit. They're telling everybody to stay home. It's fine with us. I hope everything is going well for you today and you're resting. I'm late, but that doesn't bother me. I'm so glad that you have enjoyed our videos so far. I hope the weather where you are is not troublesome. It certainly gets scary in a lot of the country, and I feel bad for the out east right now. They are going to be in for big winter problems. Yeah, sorry for all of you out there. I hope you stay safe. I didn't fuss over the table. It isn't as Christmassy. I have 2 tablecloths that I've thrifted, like all of them actually, that are a heavy cotton weave, and I just love them for us for every day. It's a warm feeling, I think, having something made out of cotton, and then we put extra placemats on it, like the one in the middle of the table. I have thrifted a lot of very fun Christmas placemats. So this one, I thought I would go with snowflakes, and for the centerpiece, it's always fun to use the little gumdrop tree. A lot of you have said that you have enjoyed seeing that. And this is a votive that I had last year. It's pretty solid paint on it. But this is the one that I just showed you in the last video, a thrift haul. It does have a lot of metallic thread in it. So it does sparkle nice. I love it. Yep, I have thrifted so many of these big, beautiful, thick cotton tablecloths. A lot of them I think were from Pottery Barn. Yeah. We have a lot of little votives over there that Norm lit for me just a few minutes ago to save on my fingernails. But they're not real bright because it is pretty bright in here, and I do have the dining room light on too. But we'll go look at them up close. I hope you enjoy. I think my Santa items have grown some. They're hard to resist. Thank you all so very much for your really, really nice comments. You're very, very loving and appreciative, and we are very grateful for you, and we're very grateful that you approve of our thrifting and displaying a lot of these things. I'm blessed to have a very sweet little vintage laminate hutch that we were very fortunate to find quite a few years back in the basement of an antique mall in St. Paul. But it sure has given me a lot of pleasure to be able to change things in it and either use more dishes, colorful dishes, or in a case like Christmas and Halloween, I get to load it up with little holiday collectibles. It's very nice to feel organized and have a place to display things. I like that too when I see other women that put out Instagram videos or posts and they have a hutch and bookshelves and things like that. I will show you some of these crazy wall decorations. I just went thrifting at Legacy Thrift after Christmas here, and I couldn't believe how many things they had, so I picked up some more. 3 more? Boy, they had a stack of these quilted, would you say? I don't know what you call that, if it's something special. Yes, there's a little tiny embroidery, or isn't that counted cross stitch? Yeah, probably. I don't know if that's needlepoint or just a cross stitch. I'm sorry, I'm just not someone who does needlework. I really admire it. That's why I buy it. I do have the glass doors closed, but I can open them up in a little bit here. But I just thought it would be fun to try to put some of my Santas, especially if they're looking up. That is helpful. He's sleepy. He's a adorable music box. And I've thrifted quite a few of those Taiwan music boxes now. I do admire them. I guess I love the fact that they play such sweet music if they work. And I've got two of those tin Santas down there, kind of roly-poly type, that I found over the years. This is a very large apothecary that I thrifted, maybe a couple years ago now. So it's got fake candy in it. Mostly. There's a little bit of real candy, wrapped candy in there, but I didn't have enough of my strings of blow mold candy. So that's what you're seeing. It's pretty sparkly and fun. Yeah, I wanted to fill that up. That certainly is a heavy piece to store. And the M&Ms I've shown over the years, that is a string garland. Yep. So there's just some others down there. I should take a chair and sit down here so I can avoid stooping over. He's a real cutie that I've had for quite a while. He does have a gold bell. But again, he could be Taiwan. Not sure. I'd have to pick him up. And this is a little Hong Kong blow mold. I did repaint both of them. They had terrible paint loss. That was tedious, and that was years ago when I had a steadier hand and better eyesight. I just found this. It could be something that's at Target. I should be way zoomed out. It might help, but I just want to show you detail starting at his feet and wreath. But I did find him at Goodwill. Really sweet. I liked him, and it works out very nice to have something tall and narrow that I can just stick in front of my bigger milk glass pieces there. This little tiny mug rack was a gift from Clay Ramage. When I first started doing YouTube videos, he pretty much had started at the same time. I have talked about him before. He's a successful reseller, has a booth in downtown Hopkins, Minnesota, a wonderful place to go antiquing. I now have found two of these adorable Raggedy Ann and Andy votives. Let me show you the back, though. All candy canes. Isn't that cute? That's kind of nice that they didn't repeat it. It doesn't interfere then with your viewing of the two of them. Yeah, it's probably something that I found at Shalom. I don't know how there was so many of these wonderful votives at Shalom thrift store in Cambridge, Minnesota that I kept finding. I'm very grateful. This is the second one now that I just showed you in the previous video, my kitchen countertop haul. There's the other one that I had last year. Yeah, there's a bunch of them dancing around. So it was a 50-cent item, so I got it for 25 cents. Well, there's no ringer in there, but he sure looks like a bell, doesn't he? I really liked him when I found him because he's a wood grain look. I did fix him up with some paint. In different areas, it was just painted poorly. Around his sack, there wasn't enough red, and around the wreath, and in between his coat center there, and I just love him. Yeah, that is another bisque item, but I never thought I would like that flat finish, but I do now because they're quite detailed. This I've had for quite a while. I have a similar item that they were making. These are probably Taiwan also. On top of the hutch here, that's the little girl angel. So I just have two of those. Maybe they made a snowman too. I don't know, but he was a real bargain too, I'm sure, from the thrift store. This I couldn't resist either. There is other pieces inside. And the other Raggedy Ann and Andy. And I shared, probably out in the kitchen last year, I had these mugs on the shelving. So I turned them different ways so you can see that the reindeer go all the way around. And I happened to find two sets. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, I found 2 sets of 4 the same day with a sale last year at Antiques America in Hinckley, Minnesota. So I got all of them 20% off, and they were excellent price to begin with. You've seen over the years, I haven't added to this collection of little tiny miniature Santa mugs that were probably party favors, table favors. Is that what you think? Because I don't think I ever found these with like a lot of candle wax in them. They were clean. And oh yeah, obviously the reason why I believe that too is that I have an entire set that I just showed you. That's just part of it. There was quite a few in this set of, I believe, Holt Howard, and it said table favors. Yeah, that's why. I mean, you can't even get your finger, of course, in these. I'll show you. It's on the end here. This is an extra one. Yeah, that's about as tiny as you can get for an opening for your finger. So, yeah, I wonder, did they just put some candy in them? Probably. But my collection is wonderfully varied. I don't have any repeats except for the Holt Howard set. So we have this one, and I've had to often touch up the red paint, especially up on the edge. It would chip. This is probably a newer one, an older one, the biggest one of the bigger ones. Love these with the little black marks on their fur hat. And that's different actually. That is not the same, I'll show you, as the one on the other end that I said was part of the Holt Howard set. Do you see the difference? Different eyes are winking. But here again, it is Holt Howard. It's just not exactly the same. I just showed you this adorable little Santa with his sack candle. I just found him with the 90% sale going on at the Family Pathways. I've had this adorable set for years now. They have corks. They're probably Japan. And he is really tiny for being a little tin. You can imagine how tiny he is because those are small salt and peppers. I've had the same mugs. He's not a mug on top, he's a Taiwan little candle. But I've had this mug collection for many, many years. And it seems when I run across an old one like this, it's either terribly expensive and I don't want to buy it, or it's not in good condition. I have two of these. They are by Lefton. And this is an adorable set I found in Burnsville, Minnesota at Antiques, Minnesota. I found several sets one year, quite a few years back. I think they may have even been on sale, so, well, they were crazy prices. Maybe like $8 for a set. I mean, they're old Japan sets. These were from my brother. I have shared all of these salt and pepper sets because I have, like I said, had them for a long time. A couple eggheads there. And I've been looking for a different recipe in these green tin plates. I finally found one, I think, early this year. So I'm not sure if it was the peppermint one I found or the gingerbread man one that I just found. But I was very glad because this hutch does not take any larger tray. It has to be a small plastic rectangular ones that I've thrifted several of now with different scenes on them. I had them in here last year, I believe. I didn't mention that I was very happy again at the Shalom thrift store that there were two of these with bells on them on each side. I think they're very cool. They're probably newer ones, of course, because they have the very thick bottoms on them for safety reasons. I've had this Chalkware Santa, Japan, I believe. He's funny. Yeah, tiny little Japan sticker. Hard to find things like that nowadays, but he was at a thrift store. I think I had originally 3 of these. They are salt and peppers. And then I ended up picking up another one. But who does he match? There's 2. Oh, the horn. The guy with the horn. So I have 2 of those. But it was okay to me to pick up a single one. Wow, this guy, he's got no cross straps. I just noticed that. The other 3 have the little gold trim and buckle-like looking thing. Yeah, oh, that's weird. He's got more of a Santa jacket on. That's funny. Yeah, so I'm sorry, it's a little harder to see my Santa mugs when I have little salt and peppers in front of them. I really, really enjoy taking them out every year. And I just love this guy. He is musical too. Yeah, he's just the sweetest. One of the ones that I found at the Goodwill that I think I was the happiest to find. Him and the guy sleeping. The Santa, I should say. He's adorable. I think what I like about those 2, I wonder if you could guess. They're similar in some way. They both have a big red nose. That's what it is. Yeah, because see, this Santa over here, he's very sweet with gold on him. He might be a bank. I know they made these in a bank or possibly musical too. Yes, he's very, very sweet. But there's something about these guys with the big red nose. So there's the other matching Lefton guy. He's kind of a smaller mug. And this set I've seen in other people's videos, so they must have made plenty of them. That was another set that I found at the Antiques Minnesota in Burnsville when I was looking for them. I specifically went there looking for sets. But this set is very old to my collection. Very, very long time ago. Okay, well, let's go peek up on top. It's pretty glowy, isn't it? That's Norm's favorite thing. The bubble lights. Yeah, it's hard to get them all working without putzing with them. Those yellow ones are stubborn. I won't ask Norm to come up here and unscrew all of those with the yellow liquid and shake them to try to get them going. You know what they look like. It's funny how red they are on the bases of those yellow ones, but it shows up pink always in these videos. It's too bad. I have always kind of liked this Santa. In case you have not ever seen one of these, they come in all sizes, probably different makers, but this one happens to be 1983, Mexico. So it is called the Kneeling Santa. I thought this was a nice size instead of getting a real big one. And I've had these little deer ornaments. I thrifted a long time ago. I thrifted the Santa and baby Jesus too, of course. These are brass and they're heavy, so we would not put them on the tree. And they have a little screw eye that I took off of them because it looked silly if you're not going to put them on a tree or hang them somewhere. But I've always liked them. I guess I like their stance and the fact that they're so small and the fact that they're brass and thrifted. This is the other little Taiwan candle. She has a real candle inside of her head that's red wax, but I wanted to just use a tea light on top of her. I've always liked her, and I did paint her wings gold. I've always really liked this. This is a little hobbyist ceramic piece. I thought he was just so unique. There's no ID on him, but I think he's a fun addition. I am going slow. I hope you're relaxing. I got 3 very nasty remarks yesterday from a real jerk, if you don't mind my calling him that. I believe it was a guy, by the way he was talking to me. He called me woman in one of the comments, but yeah, it was all in the living room, I think. Yeah, he's accusing me of having a fakey soft voice and all kinds of things. I go too slow. Well, I'm old. I don't think fast anymore, so I talk slower and I hesitate because I'm thinking. Yeah, at my age, it takes a little while. I'd rather think about what I'm going to say and get it right, hopefully, than to just be rambling on and say the wrong words because I feel I have to be in a hurry. Yeah, I was pretty happy just a couple days ago going to Legacy Thrift after Christmas, of course, and they had so much stuff left over. I guess it was 50% off everything, but I found 2 smaller ones and 2 bigger ones, but they had really big ones, probably more that size or even bigger. And I didn't want to take them, so I left some behind. I love this. It does have a glittered white. Oh, the whole thing, all of the thread looks glittered to me. Yeah, I found this at the Family Pathways a couple years ago in Wyoming, Minnesota. I just love it. It's so cute being homemade. But I am not going to do the kitchen today. I would like to have gotten everything done, but it is really way too much to take on because we have to clean off our entire table, clean off all the kitchen counters of everything that we use on a daily basis. All the coffee. Norm has his coffee pot and I have my Keurig one. I don't like coffee when it sits for very long at all. I like it really fresh. I'm just kind of picky that way. 1 cup is enough for me. This was the biggest tree that you saw I thrifted. Yes, I just love this tree. It is so big and tall. And of course, I've moved trees and candy dishes around over and over and over and over again because I'm never happy. That's why I'm so slow at getting these out. I can't make up my mind. Yes, I'm a little crazy. And you saw this in my thrifting video. I think she's adorable. I am so glad I brought her home with me. Yep. You're going to take up some space in a bin, but you're worth it. This is very pretty. I have very few votives that have yellow on them. Very few. So they are kind of loud in your decor. You probably saw me thrift him or her. That's pretty bright. Is that too bright for you? She is so cute, and I felt it went so well with all of these Kimple hobbyist reindeer with all their spots on them, little white dots. I don't know if that's something Kimple would have done, or somebody just got creative and painted it to look like them, their collection. I thought it was great. Now, these 2 deer I found, I think, last year in the cute little tree 2 or more years ago. It is very fun to put little tree ornaments like that with your miniatures. I wanted to show you the difference between a new set that I just got at the Antiques of the Midwest LLC. Yeah, I think this is where I picked those out. That's the same mold. It's the one laying down to my left that I just showed you that's dark brown, and the one standing up. See? I don't know if you can tell, but if you put them next to each other. Now look at their harnessing. Is that what you'd call it? It's the same idea. They have that same harnessing on them. Yeah, I thought that was a very sweet set. It was pretty reasonable, nice condition. I love hobbyist. I'm not going to look for a date in the bottom. These 3 I have shared. They're a little bigger than something like those. Those are the tiniest. They are really, really little. But these are your bigger ones for being miniatures. And these are bigger yet. I wish the ears and antlers would have been the same on the one on the left. But I can do that sometime. I love how chunky the snow is on their hats. Yeah, I could attempt that. Not a big deal, but I'd have to use flat paint. Isn't this the most adorable little guy? Taiwan piece, I assume. Maybe a couple Christmases ago now. It's such a cute addition. Now, this garland, beaded garland, is so tiny. I thrifted it in Pine City, Minnesota. And I thought, I wonder if I could do something with it over here. So Norm's sitting at the kitchen table behind me, and I'm trying to thread this around on the shelf. And when I finished, he looked at it and he said, "How did you do that?" He said, "How did you get it so perfect?" I said, "I don't know, luck?" Yeah, it was luck. I didn't plan anything, it just worked out. I'm always grateful for things like that. This little one is looking down so much, it's too bad. He's so cute. Really different little bisque item that I don't see any identification. I put the bow on this little guy because he didn't have one. These are what are supposed to be on him. Possibly. Well, no. He goes with this guy over here, and this guy had the darling little bell, so I should work at that sometime. I was probably just in a hurry. So that one was standing up, this guy's lying down. They are painted different, you can see, than these, heavily painted. I found this whole set at our Goodwill. I don't know if it was already 3 years now. And this is another set that's different, painted different, very sparse with the holly, and no white dots on the body. This one's painted different too. That's a very glittery nose I stuck on there because there was a hole there. You saw me find it when we were looking in Wyoming. I was talking about the fact that he had a battery behind his head to light up a little red light that was recessed too much. It didn't look very nice. And we got it working, but it just didn't look very nice. So I just covered the hole with the cute little, it's too pinky a red for me, but I'm still happy with this guy. Very happy to find that at the Wyoming store. Down here, I did not add additional greenery around the bottom larger compote. I just love these two. I think they're so pretty. I'm crazy for this milk glass that has the Doric lace edging on them. I'm crazy for them. I'm very happy to have found the ones that I have over the years. I love this fun candle ring greenery. These are also 2 bell votives that I would imagine I found at the Shalom place again. I'm not real sure. How did I manage to find 2? I don't know, but it may have taken a year to find a second one. Now, this is real candy. I had to invest in some real candy. This is my fanciest, very large glass, clear, simple base on this. You can see it comes way out to there. It's a lot to store this, but I did thrift it. I couldn't believe that this was at the Goodwill. It was not expensive either. I think it has a flea bite somewhere on the inside edge or something, but they are valuable pieces from what I could find on the internet. But I got an incredible deal. Sometimes I thought, do I really want to store this? But That is really fun to me, to put this old-fashioned looking candy in there. So I'm happy with that. I thrifted that tray a long time ago. Very, very tricky to get candy to stay in the top. Yep, that's a challenge. So I've been playing with candy for 2 months. I don't eat any of it, really. Maybe a gumdrop, only the red ones. Yeah, this Santa and Mrs., I honestly don't recall where I found them, but look at how adorable they're painted. Probably Hutchinson. It seems like all these really cute painted pieces I found in Hutchinson. Maybe it's the same person that was very crafty. Maybe, I don't know, do you think these were commercially done? Maybe. I mean, they're just so professional. Yeah, I just don't recall where I found them, but I think it was last year. So detailed, so adorable, and they don't break. So easy to store. That was another unique candle votive that I found. Don't know where, but I was thrilled. And I did share this with you last year, this little set. It is not a salt and pepper. Nope, these are just figures. Figurines. Absolutely adorable. They are plastic, hard plastic, and they did seem to have this mold where they actually did make salt and peppers. I've seen them. This I've had for many, many, many years. I used to find so many of these beautiful little cloths. It has the same pattern on the other end, and it's pretty long. The center is way back here, so you can imagine how long that is. Yeah. This was kind of a warm feeling. They do have beautiful Christmas music. Well, let's go back up here again and maybe talk more about some of these. Oh, and this was a funny find. Couldn't resist that crazy ornament. Okay, so I did those and all that. This is a very fun little ceramic tile. I imagine a trivet. Sorry about the nail showing, but that's where the hook was on the back. And I love this. I've been picking up more at the Legacy thrift trip we just went. We took a very big item there. They're pretty good about taking very big items. In furniture or exercise equipment or computer equipment, this was computer related, and they did take it, so we were thrilled. But I found a deer head made like this. It's so cute, so I'll have to share that some other time. This is a very cute little Taiwan set that I guess is Homeco. They're not my favorite either. I don't care for the white faces. I don't think deer have white faces like that. I don't know why they did that. They made them look like some other animal to me. But I thrifted them, so it's okay for possibly resale in the future. I'm really hoping that we can do that. I love this little guy, he's so cute. But these I've shown several times now. They are just the sweetest. A lot of work for somebody. Wonderful plastic canvas crafts, I think, are just adorable. I don't know if you ever recall me saying early on that I had a closet full of bins. Well, I don't know how many bins I had, but at least 2 that were full of pattern books and all the yarns, including beautiful metallic yarns and the plastic canvas sheets. And I used to make a lot of this stuff, and I did give a lot of it away too. I don't have any left, no. So that's why I'm thrifting it. This guy was irresistible, I think, from the Goodwill in our area. Just too cute. I like wood things. I like homemade things. I know a lot of you do too. And I've had that very nice condition, very tall, figural Santa candle. He goes good on this shelf. This is beautiful. Very happy to have found ones like that. Those are kind of fussed over more. They have thicker padding, so I don't know if you can tell that. They kind of are puffed out more, and they'll often have a very nice backing sewed on them so they don't sink in. Like a lot of them, they'll get stretched out and they get a little wonky looking, like they need to be stretched again. One of my favorite tiny wreaths. I don't know if I added that poinsettia. I have quite a few of them, but I did add that old bell. I think it was my mom's, and I think I mentioned that in previous videos. This one is very kooky because it was done in a paper plate holder. That's cute. Very nicely done. Another favorite tiny wreath. I've loved putting that up in lots of places in the house over the years. And this Norm bought me quite a few years ago. I'm trying to think if Fostoria did that. Maybe. Bought it for me on Etsy. That was nice of him. I love it. Yeah, so I don't have any other Christmas things up over there yet. But I just wanted to finish my complaining about the nasty person that must have had a lot of fun telling me to get on with it, stop this and stop that, and didn't like my soft voice, didn't like that I was being too slow. I can't remember what else he didn't like, but oh, he said he was very grateful. I think it was a he. Kind of looked like that in the name. Said he was very grateful for Fast Forward. Isn't that ridiculous? I tell you, he must have a lot of anger issues. Yep, he needs somebody to pray for him. But don't worry, I didn't let it bother me. Nope, I made copies of it before I deleted him. Just look at it out there. My phone light is gonna show up in the window over there. I need to turn it off. Well, thank you for listening to my silly, soft voice. I can't help it. That's just me. And I don't think that fast anymore. I can't help it. I am who I am, and I am so grateful that you love me the way I am and love our videos. We are so happy if we can entertain you. Thank you for your kind messages. You're all so good to us. We hope you have a Happy New Year celebration. Stay safe, stay in, and stay warm. Looks like half the country's not in traveling conditions, so I hope you can stay home and be safe.
Good evening, everybody. It's Norm. It is December 28th, Sunday, and it is about 12 degrees outside, a little windy, and we just got 7 inches of snow. We haven't had snow like this for the last 2 years where we live. Very unusual for Minnesota, but we had a big storm today, and I was going to do this video yesterday when it was like about 40 degrees out, which would have been better. Right now it's 12, And if you look, you can kind of see the wind and the snow blowing off of the houses. There goes a guy. He's lucky he's not stuck in the snow. And that's our fence out there. It's all full of snow. Getting back to the window, and my hands are cold, so I don't want to go too long on this, but I wanted to give a shout out especially to one of Peggy's subscribers, Yvonne, and possibly your husband's name is Julian. She wrote and said she had been watching and she knew that I put hide Waldo in my windows. And she said she wanted to send me something. I said she didn't really need to, but she said I wanted to be surprised and she wanted to do it. So I said, well, thank you very much. She sent me this book, The Great Waldo Search. And it's a fun book. It's got many, many pages in there, and you're trying to find Waldo in them. And there's several pages that I haven't been able to find Waldo in there. He's got to be there. But it was a fun gift, very nice. And I really appreciated her thoughtfulness in sending that. And it's a fun book to have. So, Julian, thank you. And Yvonne, thank you for doing that for me. I really appreciate it. It's great. Boy, it's cold out here. What I have here, my fingers are getting cold, so I'm not going to spend out here too long. But I've got some more of my tree toppers that I've done on occasion. I wanted to do some more because they're so colorful. So I've got 5 up here. I had 6 another time, and they were totally different ones. But these are just a hodgepodge of toys, and I thought I'd show a little bit of them. I've always loved building things, so I got this Block City box of plastic building blocks. My mom and dad gave me an erector set when I was a kid. I was always building stuff, and they knew I loved to make things, so they were giving me stuff like that to play with. Really appreciated it. And so that's just one of the crazy things that I've had and saved over the years. I've got 2 erector sets complete, and they're hard to find if they're in good shape and the motors work and everything, so that's another issue. And but this summer we were out in Buffalo, Minnesota at a place called the Buffalo Nickel. It's a big white barn. It's an antique shop, 2 floors, and they had this go-kart guy up there. We were walking through the place on the way out. He was sitting on a ledge between 2 vendors, and it's battery operated. It's got a silver lever there, and that starts the motor up. Well, the motor doesn't work, but what happens is, and I was very surprised at this when I did this, when I pulled that lever forward, all those 4 tires lit up. They actually have lights in them and they glow. So I thought, wow, that is really, really a crazy unique thing for a toy like that. So I know the camera is shaking a little bit because it's cold out here and I'm trying to talk fast because I want to get back inside. But so I picked that up and it's fun. This hydroplane here I bought on eBay. I admit I do buy things on eBay, but it's been a long time. But I love boats, and this one came from Brazil. I bought it from some gentleman on eBay who was selling it, and he was down in Brazil. Took a long time to get it, but it showed up in mint condition. And it's got a prop in the back, and it's actually got a motor in it if you wanted to run it, but it's really fun. I love plastic, colorful toys, which I've mentioned many times in these videos. However, this is not plastic. This is a guy with a rowboat, and there's a spring here, and it came with a key, and if you crank that key up, well, that motor in there actually runs a rod, and it makes him row the boat. He does that with his hands, the way it's configured. It's really cool. So I seen that in a window up there in an antique shop in Anoka, and I couldn't pass it up. I had to buy that. Down here, I've just got some other little crazy toys and things that I picked up along the way. Lots of crazy stuff. I got a diver here who looks like he knows where he's going, but I think he's going to have a problem because he's kind of headed towards an alligator, actually a alligator and a crocodile here. That's not a good place to be swimming, buddy, but well, we'll see how that pans out. Got a little airplane here when the motor spins around on it. I got cooties. I take cooties, I glue them together, and I make them do crazy things. Like this one is playing a saxophone. And I got one back. He's a sword swallower. He's very good at doing that. He doesn't say much. I think it kind of hurts, and it seems to be stuck in his throat, but, well, that's another story. I got a rocket in back. I got some dinosaurs, a crazy deer here that jumps up and down when you crank him up. And these couple little boats here. And it is getting cold and my fingers are freezing, so I'm going to wrap this thing up. Over here I've got a couple of race cars. When you take them off that board, a little cardboard stand that it's on, and you lay it down, they're spring loaded, so you push the button and they go shooting across the floor, and it's kind of see who wins the race. That's the idea with that. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the house here. It's got snow on it. It's been snowing all day long. It started at 8 o'clock this morning, and it's still coming down, and it's got about, well, I've cleaned this off now, but well, I had this all clean about an hour ago. I found this sled out at a antique shop when we were in Hutchinson for $20. It's a nice sled. I thought it looked kind of nice. We got the trees set up over there, of course. Going to spin around here. You can see all the snow. I was out here earlier doing the driveway, and our lights on the fence here are just spectacular with all the snow on them. Look how full that is. I love snow on the branches when they are covered up like that. And there's a wind out here that's not very nice. Got a neighbor's tree down there with a bunch of big balls. I don't know how Aaron got that up. And I know this is a little hurried, but it's cold out here. I should have done this yesterday, but I just didn't get around to it. So again, Happy New Year to you and your loved ones from Peggy and I. Have a good night. God bless.